Hello and welcome to today's video. Today, we'll be showing you Coast Road, what it has to offer, and its surprisingly dark history. Coast Road is situated about 20 minutes north of Dunedin. Dunedin's hidden over those hills somewhere. We'll show you all that on a map, because it's a bit clearer. But if you're ready to join us, buckle up as we get started. We have driven about 20 minutes north of Dunedin central city, along State Highway 1. After Waitati, you're going to want to look out for these two signs here. This road passes through a few towns along your journey. The first one you'll see is Warrington, having a population of around 550 people as of June last year. This is a rather small town. However, if you're a fan of beaches, then you're in luck, as this town has a rather large beach and is one of many that you'll be able to see along this trip. Although, this one is by far the safest. Along this road, there are many level crossings for you to watch out for. A lot of them come up on you really quickly as you drive, so always keep an eye out for them. In total, there are about 6 level crossings along this road, so please do keep an eye out for them. After passing through Warrington, this is where I believe the road truly begins. You now get a taste of how challenging this road is, as it features many bumpy bends, sharp turns and blind corners, of which some have a railway crossing in the middle, such as this one up here. For more eagle-eyed viewers, you may have noticed large patches of mud and gravel along the road. I can promise you that this is not typical, as 2 days before we went to film this footage, there was a large rainstorm, in which about 2 months of rain fell within 2 days in the New Zealand region of Otago, which is where this road is located. So, if you are planning on visiting, the road should be much clearer, provided there hasn't been a large rainstorm prior to your arrival. As we enter the small town of Seacliff, you'll see signs leading you towards a Truby King Reserve. I cannot recommend you travel along this road highly enough, as what is there is fantastic. There's a few gravel car parks along the side, as well as some parking bays next to the old gate. When you're here, you'll find a small old gravel road. When you walk up the road, it will lead you here, to the old Seacliff Lunatic Asylum, which is located about 30 kilometres north of Dunedin, New Zealand. And what is left? It's a bit shocking. Established during the mid-1800s in response to the Otago gold rush, the asylum's construction began in 1874 under the chief architect Robert Lawson. Lawson had built many famous landmarks around Dunedin by this time, including First Church and Larnax Castle. A key thing to point out is that this, at the time of its construction, was the largest building in all of New Zealand. Construction was completed by around 1884. It was known for housing around 500 patients to only around 50 staff members. The place was originally known for its rather good and progressive moves to help those with mental illnesses, with these large gardens that we can still see here today. However, in later life, the asylum became known for its misconduct and mistreatment with its patients, particularly those coming home from war. Soldiers returning home from World War I also faced abuse, leading to further controversy. The asylum faced major structural issues, leading to a landslide. This happened all in around 1887, only a few years after its completed construction. This ruined Robert Lawson's career, as emphasised by notable author Janet Frame, who was admitted to Seacliff in 1945. Wrongfully, she was diagnosed with schizophrenia. She was forced to endure electroshock therapy and narrowly escaped a scheduled lobotomy. Although changes were recommended, they were not fully implemented, and the hospital's reputation continued to decline. To add to all of this, tragedy struck in 1942 when a fire engulfed Ward 5, which was situated very close to where I'm standing. The fire sadly killed 37 of the 39 female patients. The windows were locked from the inside by the nurse. Of course, she had already left for the night. The only two survivors were two patients who had special permission to leave their windows open. Fire crews were successfully able to save them through these two windows. They were the only survivors. The fire was so hot and so rampant, they weren't able to find a cause, as there was genuinely barely anything left. Today, however, there are few remnants of the hospital that remain. Haunted by the memories of its tragic past, the site is now the Truby King Recreational Reserve, and it's a quiet reminder of New Zealand's most infamous mental health institution. After passing through Seacliff, this next section is one of the most tricky, as the corners become a lot tighter and the change in altitude becomes much more sudden and aggressive. Although there is a key point along this to note, it is a lookout, which can provide you fantastic views over the large portion of the Otago Peninsula, providing some absolutely breathtaking views. However, it's only really enjoyable on a good day, much like the rest of this road really. Sadly, we're now coming to the end of this fantastic road. However, we have one more small town to pass through. That's over Karitane. Karitane has a population of around 430 people. European settlers began whaling within this area around the 1820s, and a whaling station was established in 1837, thus providing us with the basis for the small town of Karitane, which still stands today. Thankfully, the town nowadays is known for being a day trip-like resort, which features plenty of beaches and walking trails along them. To go along with the fantastic beaches, there's a very quaint general store, which has a restaurant alongside. I would definitely recommend. However, by far the most unique point about Karitane is its headland, situated on the site of an old Māori pā. This historic place provides many walks around the headland, several of which are clearly marked out. However, please do take in mind that some of these walks go right up alongside some cliff faces, so just be aware of where you're walking. Best part of all, of course, is that the price is completely free. And just like that, the video comes to an end. Thank you so much for watching. It really means the most that you've taken the time to watch. Have a fantastic day and enjoy.